Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? My mic's working great. That's good. Oh, hang on a sec. How you going, John? How you going, Shannon? Out to lunch. Bit chilly here today. Deb, how you going? Alex, how you going? Who else we got in here? Got Shannon, did I say hello? Double Agent, how you going? Who else have we got? Dolores, how you going? Okay, let's get into... You love my cosy jumper. It's very warm and fluffy. I really like it. It's a bit chilly here, but anyway. Okay, let's get into... Oops, wrong screen. That one. Let's get into... Keep pushing with the Epstein stuff, guys. You got the left, the right, everyone in the middle. Everyone's calling for Epstein things to be released. I've seen people saying Trump's on it. That's why it's not being released. So release it. Come on. Solar Chad said, I personally believe that if Epstein's full client list was released and criminal charges were brought against everyone on it, that it would destabilise the entire world. Well over half of our elected officials would need to be replaced. Leading reports said breaking former Epstein lawyer Alan Dershowitz said he's personally seen the entire list of individuals in the Epstein case and that it's being deliberately suppressed to protect certain powerful figures. Look, I don't care who's on it. I don't care if it crashes the economy or... Do kids not come first? We need to Oh, seriously, it's just unbelievable. But anyway, let's keep going. I know there's a plan, and I know that they're doing this on purpose. General Mike Flynn said the Epstein affair isn't going to go away, and it's not about some pig watching porno. It's about child victims being enslaved and sexually abused by sick, disgusting elite pigs, and further loss of trust in our government. Sorry, it needs to be said. I'm not believing what we're being told. If true, then why is Maxwell in prison? Two-Way said the thing about the Epstein client list is that it speaks to a major problem which keeps happening. The government does things that are blatantly sketchy and dishonest and using our money to do it, then treat us like idiots. Okay, Gunther Egerman said, I really don't care about the ramifications of revealing the people intertwined with Epstein. It doesn't matter if it disrupts the economy, DC, or anything else for that matter. I want justice for the innocent children, point blank. That's exactly how I feel. Don't care who's on it, release it. Okay, Benny Johnson posted this. Roseanne Barr said if the real prosecutions happened over the Diddy and Epstein connections, it would trigger a collapse that exposes everything. That's why Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, and James Comey's being investigated right now into the Russia thing. She is a gatekeeper of sorts, if you want to put it that way. It goes to the royals of the world, not just Hollywood. It's the devil's world. They want to destroy us. Gotta go. Let's have a listen.
Just a final question on this topic, since, of course, it is your expertise. What do you think would happen if there was an honest prosecution of people at Diddy parties, people on the Epstein list? Do you think that anybody would be left standing in Hollywood? Is it that endemic?
I think it goes to the royals of the world, the kings and queens. That's how they get there. Come on, it isn't just Hollywood. It's everything. It's the devil's world. And it's up to us to wrestle it back and fix it and kick their ass out. They got to go. They got to go. And, you know, I think God's removing them. I think God's removing them a boatload at a time. And how he's showing us he's removing them is when they get on the TV or what have you, they implode themselves with their friggin' lies. Their bullshit hit the wall. And they implode right before our eyes with their, you know, for me, it's like when they start cursing out the Jews. That's the devil. To me, I'm a Jew. But when you go after God in the Bible and the people who study every word in the Bible, I'm not talking about, you know, lefties and commie Jewish people. I call ginos, Jews in name only. But I mean, us that believe and we study and we wait and we believe. And, you know, they just want to destroy us and everything that we have lived through. And it's a war, because in the Torah, it says God created this earth to be a place where there would be a war between good and evil. That's what it says. And that's what we're seeing. And we're also seeing those who hate God. They hate the Bible. They hate people who are believers of that. They're coming hard on us. They're coming hard against us, and they're tearing us apart. But, you know, luckily, you know, also in Judaism, it says that, you know, though it looks like 99% is the material world, when we look out as human beings, we see 99% material world, physical world. It's the 1% that matters, because that's God. God is in this place of darkness, this world. The 1% is all that matters. And so I'm just watching it in that way, going, look at how God's exposing them. Look how they say one thing and do another. Look at their double standards. Look how they condemn these people for doing the same thing that they laud these people for doing. Look how they do. Look at it. See it. You're supposed to see it. You're supposed to witness it, because witnessing it weaves it into visibility, and then it will disappear. When people see it, when people pray it away, it'll go away. And it's all internal work. And don't be like all, you know, watching for devil porn, get it in here and, connect, see it, that it can be taken apart. Everything strung together with words, everything can be undone with words, the right words, holy words. And that's the 1%. And like I say, well, there's a 99% versus a 1% that, that's the chance we have, is the 1% in the 100%. But of course that's going to win, because that's the one that matters. That's all there is. All there is God. None of these devil worshiping fools, they're not going to win. They got a little bit of a show to put on.
But $6.58. Belated happy birthday, Hev. Hello to Hev's pussies and chicken.
How you going, Deb? Thank you. God love you, you legend. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll finish this.
Enjoy it, because at the end they look like a bunch of assholes. Every damn one of them, from Schumer. Oh, they're assholes, and we're seeing it. And we're watching the people that are defending them, and they're assholes too. It's a war of good people against assholes. So be sure to witness it. That's my 2 cents.
We are.
Okay, I don't think she's got a black eye. Because Alex asked. I think she's got like dark circles under her eyes. This is eyeshadow up here. She's got it on both sides. It might not be exactly even, but she's got it on both sides. I think this under here is just dark circles under her eyes.
I often say on this program, Roseanne, it's a war of darkness versus light. But yeah, good people versus assholes. We will certainly put that as a quote from Roseanne.
You know what?
That's the Roseanne version of that. Yes,
not a group.
God is in.
Because there's assholes in every group. So you're
God
not
is in
fighting a whole group. You're fighting assholes of every color and stripe and belief. They're
God
bad.
is in.
Yep, she's not wrong. Officer Lou said breaking FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino are reportedly furious with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the lack of transparency regarding the Epstein files, according to Axios. Well, I believe he took the day off yesterday and he's threatening to leave, and Kash said that if he leaves, he's leaving. Okay? Hey, Timmy, how you going? And who else was in here? Zal. How you going, Zal? Just want to make sure I've said hello to everyone. Yep, I think so. If I've missed you, I'll get you next time. Eric Weinstein said never let go of the Epstein thing. We all need to stand up against rogue psychopaths within our ICs and find the courage to speak up on behalf of those without the ability to speak for themselves. How is this complicated? As the oath says, all enemies, foreign and domestic. We need to know. Tony Saruga said, appoint Special Prosecutor Matt Gaetz to investigate without any guardrails, anything and everything Jeffrey Epstein. Total transparency, then watch the nuclear meltdown. Biblical. Election Wizard said breaking metadata shows the footage from Jeffrey Epstein's cell that was released by the DOJ was edited with Adobe Premiere Pro, stitched from 2 clips and was saved 4 times per Wired. Because if they can edit things, they can unedit it with the same software that was used. If they find the right software, they can unedit it. Chicago One Ray said reports of a rift between Bongino and Bondi are real. He abruptly walked out, took a leave of absence over the Epstein file debacle. This ain't Bongino, folks. This is on Bondi. Bondi must resign. I stand with Bongino. I'm not standing with anyone here, but they need to be released. I don't care. Whoever's holding it up needs to release it. George Papadopoulos said breaking the footage from Epstein's cell that was released by the DOJ was edited, like we just saw. Okay, the Rubber Duck says, people think I'm kidding when I tell them that Anons witnessed the raid on Epstein's Island live in 8/2019 as it happened. But it's true. Watch this clip. It's the moment Rusty Shackelford's drone, got caught by the FBI marshals and the Southern District of New York filming their evidence collection. Don't you dare tell me we're not watching a movie. Let's just have a look at this. Oh, hang on, no, I'll make it small. And I kind of have to save myself from copyright. Okay, we'll take the music out as well. So we're just looking at, can I make myself smaller here for a minute? There we go. So we're just watching the agents inside. Okay, this is, we did watch this live, 2019. We saw when it happened. It was posted on that board, and because everyone was watching that board like a hawk, we were all over there straight away. It was on YouTube. Rusty Shackelford's Epstein Island footage. Oh, they're putting cardboard up, just like they do with elections. Ah, funny that, isn't it? Look, because he was busted. They saw the drone. So they thought, oh, we'll cover some of this up. Is that actually what? Yeah, they are. They're trying to cover it up. Look. Curtains, anything they can. There you go. Right, Fred said, excellent advice. I always wait until it's raining. Listen to this. Bristol Live. Households told not to dry clothes outside from tomorrow. Drying clothes out in the sunshine can be detrimental. What are you supposed to do? Use your dryer? Cost yourself thousands in electricity? At least if you're here in Australia, you will. Okay, they do. The sun does eventually bleach clothes and stuff like that. But this is like, are you serious? It's the best way to dry clothes. Hang them out on the line. I'd rather use my dryer because there's never any warmth here, but you know, can't do that. Too much. Anthony Albanese said, we've worked hard to bring back trade with China. And that means jobs for Australia. No, it doesn't. It means jobs for bloody Chinese Australians. Barley beef and live rock lobster trade is booming and wine is flowing again. For who? For producers like Chateau Tanunda, that means bottles on shelves, jobs in the regions and confidence for the future. Not if you can't bloody afford it, it's not. You bloody more. Oh. Who's this handsome lady over here? Very handsome woman there. Just saying, I don't know. No, don't like that one. No, I don't like Anthony Albanese. What am I doing? Don't do that. Shit. Get rid of it before you do it again. Okay. Whoops. The White House thread President Trump's One Big Beautiful cabinet met and his One Big Beautiful bill was front and centre. The America First team he's built is locked in. Every agency's ready to unleash it. This is how we fuel the golden age. Let's freaking go. J.D. Vance thanked President Trump for his leadership in passing the One Big Beautiful bill, congratulated the cabinet for their unity and ability to provide quality of life improvements for all Americans. Pete Hegseth reported historic recruiting increases across the armed forces, touted the One Big Beautiful bill's historic investments in modernising our national defence, highlighted school choice and scholarship for students in the One Big Beautiful bill, touted Title 9 victory at Penn and reaffirmed support for women's sports, touted the One Big Beautiful Secretary LCD, Laurie Chavez de Rema, touted the One Big Beautiful bill as the most pro-worker piece of legislation that we'll ever see, reminded viewers that no tax on tips, overtime and social security means American workers will keep more of their hard-earned dollars. Lee Zeldin described how the One Big Beautiful bill destroys the Green New Scam, reaffirmed the administration's commitment to being good stewards of American taxpayer dollars. Secretary Brooke Rollins, called for efforts to elevate American agriculture and national security, reiterated the president's commitment to no amnesty for illegal aliens. Secretary Duffy talked about the One Big Beautiful Bill's historic investment in modernising air traffic control, highlighted tremendous AusDOT success improving Newark Airport, reported $100 billion in tariff income this year, with major tariffs starting in the second quarter, projecting over $300 billion by year end. Highlighted the One Big Beautiful Bill's historic investment in economic development and border security. And there it is, the Epstein files. Hello. Keep going at them. Actually, I should have... Hang on, just give me a sec. I'm supporting everyone who's still shouting out, let's go. Let's go, Brandon. Steve Ferguson said Obama's been the head of the snake since January 20th, 2017. He set up shop a short distance from the White House after he left office and has never left. Isn't it way past time he was taken down, AG Pam Bondi? Zebra 12 said, now we know who was really running the country. We all suspected it, and here it is. Proof, huge scandal. Judge Janine Fan said Barack Obama logged into the West Wing on 310 out of 365 days in 2024. His entry is listed as Joe time. His Joe time lasted from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. every day. Looks like we know who was actually running the country. Well, if you didn't know before, you know now. Who was actually running Joe Biden? The whole lot. Amy Kremer said within the last hour the following has happened. Biden's White House doctor pleads the Fifth and has refused to testify in a closed-door hearing to Congress. Linda Yaccarino, CEO of X, has announced she's resigning. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals has thrown out the conviction of Douglas Mackey, who was prosecuted and imprisoned for a meme mocking Democrats in 2016, and the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, is expected to resign. I hope her itchy nose. So there you go. Interesting stuff happening. The White House said Panikin's hardest hit. Oh yeah, because interesting. Country is now back. President DJT. Tech stocks, industrial stocks and NASDAQ hit all-time record highs. Crypto through the roof. Nvidia is up 47% since Trump's tariffs. USA is taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. Country is now back. A great credit. Fed should rapidly lower the rate to reflect this strength. The USA should be at the top of the list. No inflation. Vince Langman said, for the life of me, I couldn't understand why the White House doctor actively participated in the Biden dementia cover-up. Then I saw a picture of him and it all made sense. I don't know, looks like a DEI doctor. I don't know. Cillian said, breaking, French surgeon Francois Favre, who vowed to expose Brigitte Macron's transgender past, has died after falling from a window in Paris. His death comes after French President Emmanuel Macron told people to stop speculating about his wife's gender. This is horrific. What's this? Someone DuPont? Did I read? Hang on. We're going to play this.
Le 29 juin, un homme a été retrouvé mort après une terrible chute depuis
On 29th of June, a man was found dead after falling out of the window of the 12th Arizona. The medical examiner's office said Francois committed suicide. He was a surgeon and worked in a Parisian clinic. His sister, Anne DuPont, says that he was not suicidal and that his death is probably related to the interview he was supposed to give. According to Miss DuPont, oh shit, I can't keep up with it. Her brother was a colleague of the famous surgeon, Dr. Patrick Bury. Francois had promised to shed light on controversial surgical operations of Brigitte Macron. Here's the footage from the video. Let's have a listen now. No? Okay, I can't understand it. I still have copies of the medical records. I could tell you more about my work with Dr. Patrick, but we met in person. We meet in person. I worked at the American Hospital in Paris for 6 years. He was one of my close colleagues. He shared a lot of information about his patients. including about the wife of the French president. Yes, he told me about the physical changes that Brigitte Macron underwent during the transgender surgery operation in the hospital. Did I understand correctly? You're talking about a sex change operation? Can you tell me more in detail? Topic of Brigitte Macron's transgender surgeries become increasingly viral in 2025. There you go. Again, Che Bowes said the French journalist Natasha Ray, who claimed that Macron's wife was born a male, has been acquitted by a Paris court, according to their lawyer. Ray now apparently intends to sue Brigitte Macron for fraud. Okay, so what happened is they took a French journalist to court for saying that she was a man. She's lost it, lost the court case because the journalist has been acquitted. And the journalist is now suing Brigitte Macron for fraud. Conspiratorial report says she's the key. Why is no one interviewing her? Ghislaine Maxwell. Liz Churchill said no one believes this garbage. Frankenstein COVID, symptoms of a highly contagious, rapidly spreading variant amid sharp rises in Irish cases. You going to fall for it? The COVID variant Stratus is a descendant of the already super virulent Omicron and is what's known as Frankenstein or recombinant strain of the disease. Going to fall for it? Okay, Massachusetts Physical Alliance said, can anyone find Maura? The public defender system has imploded. The courts are dumping violent offenders onto the street and the governor's pulling a Where's Waldo act. Where is she? How long will she be gone? No one knows. Governor continues secret getaway while violent offenders walk free. Where's Moira? Moira? The situation is spiralling into a full-blown constitutional crisis and Governor Healy is nowhere to be found. The governor's decision to jet off on vacation to who knows where and for who knows how long without addressing this slow-motion disaster shows a shocking lack of leadership and irresponsible decision-making. And that's in Massachusetts, I believe. It's interesting. Darth Powell said you've lost a quarter of your purchasing power in 4 years and no one's rioting. You literally were made 25% poorer so the government could spend more money to hand out to their friends. That's the truth. It's a situation we're all in. But I wouldn't go rioting. I wouldn't encourage that. Megan Kelly said, Chelsea, what are we... Chelsea Clinton said, hi, Megan. Oh, okay, this just goes into one after another. Hang on. I want to read the Megan Kelly. The replies to this post are amazing. Okay, Chelsea Clinton said, members of the Clinton global community are on the ground in Texas supporting families, communities and ongoing search and rescue efforts. Okay, I don't want to hear any more. The Red Cross is involved, okay? God help them. This is why yesterday someone said, keep Chelsea and the Clintons away from the children, right away from the children. Do not let these people near children. Hide your wallets and your children. Oh, dear God, no. Are you having pizza delivered? You and your family are thieves. The Clinton Foundation is one giant scam. Your parents destroyed your life. They're both corrupt perverts. How many children do you plan on abducting? So you found an opportunity to steal money from victims again. Not like you've ever done that before. Get lost, witch. Oh yeah, disaster isn't complete without scavengers like the Clintons. Clinton's going to grift. Dear God, Clintons are truly like turkey buzzards. Go home. The last time Clinton Global helped after a natural disaster, they got paid $1 billion to build Haiti a soccer field. Andrea said, you mean looking for children to take, like in Haiti? Where are all the children? Okay, so let's get back. The replies to this post are amazing. Chelsea said, "Hi, Megan. I'm sure any of the organisations I mentioned which are on the ground in Texas would welcome your support. I would be happy to put you in touch directly. We all need to support those impacted by the tragic floods in Kerr County and surrounding areas. Yeah, we need to support them, but not from people like you. They don't need your support. You need to stay as far away from that as possible." And Megan Kelly replied, "Chelsea, what we're seeing in the replies to your post is that while you love to play fake philanthropist, absolutely no one wants your family of grifters anywhere near those suffering in Texas, Haiti, or anywhere else." Bloody weirdos. Yeah, Hawaii. Oh, God. C3 said, "Follow along. Hillary paid Perkins Coie. Perkins Coie paid Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS paid Steele to write a fake dossier. Obama's PAC Priorities USA pays BuzzFeed $1.5 million. BuzzFeed publishes fake dossier when no one else would. Fake dossier is used to trigger spying on Trump. Treason." All the way to, who was it? Hillary Clinton? Hello, that's your mum, Chelsea? Allegedly. Shadow of Ezra said former Bush official Catherine Fitz claims the Epstein files could expose a much larger cover-up involving Jeffrey Epstein. Over $20 trillion is missing from the Pentagon and the government's Operation Warp Speed Big V campaign. She says the truth about Epstein would also reveal where all the missing trillions went and who's really behind the Big V agenda. That's the procedure, nothing else, okay? Fitz believes the same people who looted the system are now pushing experimental injections, and exposing that connection could destabilise the entire system. Let's have a listen.
I think the reason that many people who are in positions of responsibility in the government might not want this disclosed is I think it has the possibility at a moment when the dollar reserve currency status is in flux and people are feeling pretty sensitive about it. I think if the truth about Epstein came out, those files would lead to a truth about the money that's disappeared out the back door in the federal government, and the truth about Operation Warp Speed and why the agency missing $20 trillion is running around demanding we inject mysterious ingredients in people's body, which this administration continues to promote. I think it will help people integrate the dots between the missing money and Operation Warp Speed in a way that really threatens the financial system. You know, it's one thing to manage the dollar successfully. It's another thing to try and manage it when people know your sort of covert tricks. And of course, that covert trick threatens Americans' retirement savings in a very deep and bad way. We don't have a debt problem, we have a robbery problem. And I think if too many Americans connect the dots, many people feel it would be dangerous for the financial system.
There you go.
I think
Data Republican said breaking: Jeffrey Epstein once claimed to work for the CIA. Been doing research with the Lamps Apple all evening, and yeah, Epstein did claim to work for the CIA in a 2001 Evening Standard article. Dressed more suitably for a shopping trip on Fifth Avenue than an English pheasant drive in his LL Bean hunting boots and $1,000 leather parka, Jeffrey E. Epstein cut a curious figure alongside Ghislaine and Andrew at the Sandringham shooting party. More at home in the world of international finance than the English countryside, the immensely wealthy financier and property developer maintains a mysterious presence in New York. He has a license to carry a concealed weapon, once claimed to have worked for the CIA, although he now denies it, and owns properties all over America. Once he arrived at the London home of a British arms dealer bringing a gift, a New York police issue pump-action riot gun. God knows how he got it into the country, a friend said. He's also a close associate of multi-billionaire Leslie Wexner, owner, among other companies, of Victoria's Secret. Epstein has the use of Wexner's $40 million New York house and owns several cars, including a V8 Corvette, a 1964 Volkswagen. He also owns a $3.5 million pink villa in Palm Beach and a $3 million 26,700 square foot fortress like Hilltop Mansion in New Mexico, fitted with $600 bed sheets. One local said they think he's flown in from Mars down here. Epstein began working for Wexner in 1985 and by the late 80s had become wealthy through, among other things, handling his worldwide air freight something. Very happy New Year assured for Marilyn and Carl. What's this got to do with it? Paying court. Talk about picking your battles. Palm Beach financier Jeffrey Epstein is in a bit of a tussle with none other than the Department of State. Seems Epstein began renting a building in Manhattan from the State Department, and what a spread it is. 3 bedrooms, 3 kitchens, 1 for each meal of the day. Marble foyer, library, steam room, and Upper East Side location, just a snowball's throw from Madison Avenue. The building was at one time an official Iranian residence and was seized by the government in retaliation for the taking of the US Embassy in Tehran. Epstein moved out of the $15,000 per month digs in January 1996 and eventually sublet the place to lawyer Ivan Fisher for $20,000 per month. Everybody's happy, right? Hardly. The State Department insists that Epstein didn't get permission to sublet, not to mention being a little peeved about the extra $5,000 Epstein was getting in rent. You know how the government is when they say what you're doing is wrong. What they really mean is, damn, why didn't we think of that first? Where can we get like more reporting journalism like this back? Fisher stopped paying rent to Epstein when he discovered the mess, offering to pay the government instead, by the look of it. Very interesting. Just for the people who don't know. Liz Wheeler said people care viscerally about the Epstein files because it represents justice. Well, that's the whole thing of it, isn't it? I don't care who is on those bloody files. Release them. Release the lot. We want the truth. We demand the truth. Gunther Eagleman said, looks like they might have found the missing files from Pam's desk, lol. Keep putting pressure on. The victims of Epstein Island deserve justice. The Justice Department is now reports to the court it's reviewing the FBI DOJ Epstein records for possible release. By the way, that thing that they let out a few days ago or last week or whenever it was, wasn't signed. The press release. Okay, put that back for a minute. Chicago Ray said Adam Schiff was rumoured to have visited Epstein Island 72 times and what happened at the Standard Hotel. I'm calling on Kash Patel to get to the bottom of this. Let's go. Okay, over to, what's this, Australia here. Oz Integrity said, holy smokes, Jacinta Allen has a huge problem on her hands. Grok 4 is spitting truth on the childcare centre crisis and name drops Victoria. Are actions by governments causing the pedo problem in childcare and why? Thoughts? Government actions in Australia, particularly in Victoria under Labor, have indeed contributed to the pedo problem in childcare through lax regulations, flawed appeals process, and prioritisation of diversity and immigration leniency over child safety, enabling convicted offenders to work with kids and fostering an environment where predators slip through unchecked. There you go. Bloody Victorian government. TDHBXG said an entire generation is currently studying for jobs that will not exist. Unfortunately. Il Donaldo Trumpo said now initiate the deep state purge. This has got music. I don't know what that is. Is that a song? Okay, anyway. We're back. Nick Sautor said breaking a rioter has just opened fire on ICE agents during a standoff in California. Democrats are enabling this. Start locking up politicians for incitement. Yep, it's getting out of hand now. Watching a movie. Radio Genoa said the UK is about to explode. That's it. Spitfire said, and there it is, Newsom with the land grab to turn Palisades into low-income housing. So predictable. Newsom unveils $101 million to build Palisades low-income housing. 15-minute cities, anyone? Stack 'em, pack 'em. Brian Cates said, man, that whole bizarre story sure vanished out of the national news spotlight pretty quick, didn't it? Remember the man with the mask on? Interesting. Back to Brigitte Macron. X-Alert said, alert, does this mean what we think it means? Women who claim Brigitte Macron was born a man are cleared of defamation. I do believe it means what we think it means. Valerie said, testy little man, what bloody opposition. Secret meetings are a thing with Labor dictator, had those too, while still butcher of Victoria. Do I have to listen to this? Yes, I think. Yeah, I believe a storm is here. That's why all this Epstein stuff's going on. It's getting people riled up. Everyone's looking. Left, right, centre, it doesn't matter, everyone.
Demonstration of the good relations that exist between Australia and China, something that both countries have worked on. Happy to take questions.
Prime Minister, why are Australians now only finding out about the meeting between Kevin Rudd and Donald Trump, and what does that say about the Australian government's transparency?
They're not.
Are you in a position to tell us what type of...
Yeah, I spoke in a morning TV interview. I mean, James Patterson needs to pay more attention. I'd spoken publicly about this at the time.
What were the contents of the meeting?
Well, they had a brief discussion. It's out there. What we don't do is take meetings with world leaders. What we do is engage constructively.
Was it a secret meeting, though, as alleged by the coalition?
Well, I just said that I talked about it at the time. So it's pretty hard for it to be a secret when you talk about it and get asked on morning TV. And if you go back, you'll see that. So the opposition need to...
There is no opposition. What are you talking about?
Demonstration.
What a moron. Oh, my God. Okay, and that is it. How long have I been going for? 42 minutes. Let's have a look over on the Gateway Pundit. Oh, there's some interesting stuff on the Gateway Pundit today, by the way. Metadata from the Epstein prison video released this week was likely modified. Is methylene blue the secret weapon for fighting Alzheimer's and keeping your brain young? Would have to ask Dr. Timmy. By the way, I was wondering if Dr. Timmy wants to go live tomorrow instead of Monday because I have a doctor's appointment. I'm going to have to message him and see if he can do it tomorrow. Social media users erupt as AOC defames President Trump while snarkily commenting on the Epstein files. Release them then. Let's have it all. You'll see who's on there and who's not. Pam Bondi's DOJ's released a video they claim proved Epstein killed himself. This report proves it doesn't. What report's that? Exhibit A. Controlled access door. Following a preliminary investigation, including a forensic frame-by-frame analysis of the surveillance video recently released and cited in Pam Bondi's DOJ memo, as well as an in-depth review of the Metropolitan Corrections Centre, MCC, in New York Special Housing Unit, including its labyrinth floor plan and the hard limitations of the surveillance camera's line of sight, we have reached a definitive conclusion. It's physically impossible for any viewer to see who, if any, one, entered or exited Jeffrey Epstein's upper-level L-tier cell block during the full 10 hours, 52 minutes and 23 seconds of footage. The camera angles simply do not and cannot show it. Camera lines of sight do not bend around corners. Over the past 4 days, we conducted an independent high-resolution analysis, and what we uncovered is not only indisputable, it's damning. The video released by the Department of Justice does not and cannot possibly provide the definitive evidence that Jeffrey Epstein unquestionably killed himself It fails to meet even the most basic standard of transparency, let alone proof. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. What follows is a forensic analysis and detailed inspection of images and floor plan schematics, sourced directly from the official report titled Investigation and Review of the Federal Bureau of Prisons Custody, Care and Supervision of Jeffrey Epstein at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC in New York. New York report number 23-085, issued June 27th, 2023 by the US Department of Justice, the DOJ, Office of the Inspector General, OIG. Location of recording SHU camera at the 10th floor south entrance. Angle the DOJ provided footage from. Here. Notice the door numbered 46 as seen in the DOJ video, clear as day. Notice guardrails. That's Epstein's cell. So there's the stairs. There's his cell. Note the photograph has been modified for privacy reasons. Source DOJ OIG photograph and DOJ OIG schematic drawing depicted the MCC New York SHU. Camera angle provided by the DOJ shows a clear view near door 46. Now remember this wall edge here. Low level cell block K tier, upper level cell block J tier. There's L tier, M tier. Okay, notice this L. This one doesn't have it. This one does. Notice guardrails near camera. Our camera is tucked back here. Epstein's L tier stair entrance, yes. Stairwell layout shows L tier entry completely obstructed from camera viewpoint, position near south landing. Remember the wall edge? Okay. View of Epstein's cell door from the SHU officers station. The officers station is over here so they can see. View from officers station shows only partial visibility of Epstein's tier entrance, no clear line of sight into the cell block. Epstein's cell and entrance. Video camera is here. Camera location here. It's G tier. There's the upper tiers and the lower tiers. Okay, there's cameras all around the joint. Camera placement shows recording angle position far from Epstein's cell block, no direct coverage of L tier entrance. Epstein's cell and L tier entrance. There's 46. Epstein's cell and entrance located behind completely block the view. The camera angle is there. Okay, I'm not getting it anyway. Phew. DOJ camera angle shows Epstein's cell and L tier entrance completely obstructed, no visibility into the cell block. Epstein's cell and stair entrance located behind completely blocked view, meaning a zero line of sight. Remember that wall edge? Only field of view to Epstein's tier landing area. This is not the control access door to Epstein's L tier cell block. If it were, it would have indeed shown as clear as day all those entering and exiting Epstein's actual cell block, which is exactly what we were expecting given the clear as day standard that was set. This is the camera angle the DOJ gave us. No line of sight, no cell block view, and absolutely nothing clear as day. There's video, clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it, said FBI Director Dan Bongino. This is the only visible angle of Epstein's L tier entrance, area captured in the footage released by the DOJ. This narrow sliver is the only angle the DOJ provided, no clear view of who entered or exited Epstein's cell block. What's going on in the chat? Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, Epstein's actual cell door 220 located inside of L tier hall. Okay. Outer electronically controlled access door into, leading into L tier. cell block. Epstein's actual cell door, 220, was located deep inside LT, completely out of view from the DOJ camera angle. Epstein's cell was located deep inside LT, far beyond the stairwell and completely out of the DOJ's camera view. This is the end of the lie. No fair-minded person can look at this image and still believe we were ever shown the truth. Epstein's cell block was hidden, fully obstructed, fully concealed and fully misrepresented. The DOJ's own footage proves it. There was never any clear as day view. What they gave us was not transparency, it was theatre. Enough said. Reopen the investigation into what actually happened to pedo-blackmailing double agent Jeffrey Epstein. We would all love to know. Dershowitz said DOJ is hiding the Epstein client list. James O'Keefe is also fighting for the Epstein client list as well. But he's fighting for First Amendment rights and bringing truth to light, dismissal filed in defamation case. Northern Dystopia, Royal Canadian Mounted Police warns children to be vigilant for people with traditional values can be extremists. Pull the other leg, mate. Appeals Court throws out plea deal for 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. Update, Kash Patel not resigning, will stay unless President says otherwise. John Solomon teases big surprises for MAGA base in the coming weeks. The real Epstein files? Rhino Rebellion. Here are the 5 GOPers reportedly holding up the Trump-backed Doge cuts package that would defund NPR and PBS, enough to sink the legislation. Who are they? Get to the names. You've got Alaska's Senator Lisa Murkowski's opposition. Susan Collins of Maine. Jerry Moran of Kansas, Mike Rounds of South Dakota, and Dan Sullivan of Alaska. There you go. FBI, a breaking report, FBI Director Kash Patel considering resigning if Bongino leaves. White House releases statement on Bondi-Bongino clash over handling of Epstein files. Let's have a look. The White House released a statement on the Bongino clash on Friday afternoon. Earlier Friday, it was reported that FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino took a day off from work after a clash with Attorney General Pam Bondi over the handling of the Epstein files. The blow-up between Bondi and Bongino happened after the FBI DOJ released a 2-page memo on Sunday concluding Jeffrey Epstein did not have a client list and that he committed suicide. Bongino did not report to work Friday amid speculation about his whereabouts, said a source familiar with the perspectives of the DOJ leaders, who also believes that Bongino is considering leaving, NBC News reported. This came after a confrontation Wednesday at a meeting with Bondi and White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, during which Bongino and Patel were asked about a news story suggesting they were dissatisfied with the decision not to release any additional Epstein files, according to the source familiar with the perspectives of DOJ leaders and an additional source familiar with the meeting, NBC News said. The memo also suggested that no further Epstein documents would be released to the public. Later Friday, it was reported by numerous sources that Dan Bongino was considering resigning if Bondi stayed at the Department of Justice. Bongino is out of control furious, the person who has spoken with the Deputy FBI Director said, according to NBC News. This destroyed his career. He's threatening to quit and torch Pam unless she's fired. Scoop, Dan Bongino is now seriously thinking about resigning from the FBI's Deputy Director over Pam Bondi's mishandling of the Jeffrey Epstein file release and the lack of transparency at the DOJ. Can confirm it's Bongino or Bondi and the pick is obvious. Bondi must go, said Megan Kelly. Breaking, source close to Dan Bongino tells me it's either him or Pam Bondi and that he won't stay at the FBI if she stays at the DOJ. Mary Margaret Olahan. Laura Loomer, who was first to report on the Bongino-Bondi clash, said Dan Bongino may resign by Monday or possibly a weekend resignation. We might not have a Deputy FBI Director by Monday. We could possibly see a weekend resignation from the FBI by Bongino. Sources tell me Kash Patel agrees with Bongino's sentiment and also agrees that Bondi needs to be removed from a post. White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Harrison Fields released a statement on the Bondi-Bongino clash. President Trump has assembled a highly qualified and experienced law and order team dedicated to protecting Americans, holding criminals accountable, and delivering justice to victims. This work is being carried out seamlessly and with unity. Any attempt to sow division within its team is baseless and distracts from the real progress being made in restoring public safety and pursuing justice for all, Harrison Fields said. White House Press Secretary Karen Leavitt provided a statement to NBC News. President Trump is proud of Attorney General Bondi's efforts to execute his Make America Safe Again agenda, restore the integrity of the Department of Justice, and bring justice to the victims of crime. Their continued fixation on the sowing division in President Trump's cabinet is baseless and unfounded in reality. Okay, well, is Laura Loomer making it up? Who knows? And there we go. Okay, 56 minutes of news. Okay, let's go to screen. Oh, my God. Okay, let's go back as far as we can in the comments. Shannon's all at as always. G'day from the Riverland, South Australia. Out to lunch was here many hours to go. The when, the what, and the where. What? Dictator, 1:27 p.m. almost time. Okay, get to some comments. Alex, I hope you're feeling better, Shannon. Yeah. Oh, that tea's really hot, steaming up my glasses. Okay. Out to lunch at Earth is a biodome. Ah. Another chicken's gone. Had to do another chicken yesterday. Day before. Yeah, my birthday. Yeah, another one went down like a bag of you-know-what, and because there's no vets around that will take chickens, you know, you've got to deal with it yourself. And I'm not happy about that, but anyway, there's not much I can do about it. Shannon said, yeah, no pain if T-Rex arms. No Hitler salutes for me. Deb said, and we're back. And I'm going to cough again. Hang on, I'm going to mute. My mic back? Yep, okay. That one made my eyes water. Okay, I've got a tickle in my throat and it goes up through the nostrils and in the eye and makes your eye water. Only one eye though. Okay. How you going, double agent? Good to see ya. Alex said, lovely to see your beautiful face again. Oh, God, no. Okay, Dolores said, hello all, just checking in. Happy to catch you live. I'm busy at the moment. Will only be listening for a bit. Here at the first. Fair enough. Good to see you, Dolores. Shannon said, double or nothing. Double or nothing or double O nothing? Out to lunch said weather modification is killing folks. Yes, it is. I swear I had something bookmarked about weather modification. Where did that go? I wonder where that went. Or did I already report on it yesterday? I don't know. Deb said, hello, beautiful face, Hev. Alex said, love your cozy jumper. Yes. Very nice and warm. Very fluffy. It's like, you know that real soft material? Yeah, that. Out to lunch said, jumper birthday gift? No, I've had it for a while. Out to lunch said, one big beautiful day here. Zal called in. Shannon said, not yet, justice system is still corrupt, timing is everything. If can't do it by the law, military is the only way. Exactly. What do you think's next? Alex said, I was a bit narked to see Trump saying, are people still going on about this? Yes, we are, because there are hundreds of millions of billionaires who have been abusing children and they need to be in prison. Yeah, but that's to make, like, I believe that was a play to make the left start calling for it because they think Trump's on it. Out to lunch said, is Epstein dead or is he? Yeah, who knows? Remember the reports of him being back on the island after he was locked up? Yep, Zal, I agree. All this is being done to open your eyes. Shannon said, Zal, power brother from another mother? Alex said he's probably still on the island somewhere or a different one. Out to lunch. It could be hanging out with, what's his name from Virgin? That guy, you know. Zal said, g'day, Alex. Alex said, there's more than one Jeffrey Epstein, though. He's just small fish. There are loads more procurators out there. Exactly. Alex said, she's right. We're in the devil's world right now. Evil monsters everywhere. Sal said, Roseanne, all that is left are the minions at pond scum level. Yep. I'd call it swamp scum. Shannon said, Trump makes them want it bad, just like he did with with the taxes. Yes, exactly. Because they think he's on it. So keep demanding it, guys. Just keep going. Keep demanding those Epstein files. We all want to see them. We all want to know. We all want the truth and transparency. So let's have it. I'm not going to stop talking about it till we get the answers that we need. Alex said, if people don't wake up soon, I don't think they ever will. Alex said, has Roseanne got a bit of a black eye there, or is it just the light? Yeah, I think it was her makeup. Like she had the little, but she had dark circles under there. Alex said, I like her hair though. Timmy, how you going? Hello, everyone. What I wanted to ask Timmy, are you still there, Timmy? If you are, can you tell me if you are available tomorrow? Because I've got an appointment on Monday morning, late in the morning, but Monday morning when we were going to do the call-in show. So I wondered if we could bring it forward a day. But if you're busy, it's okay. I fully understand. Zal said they're mostly not designed to, Alex. Most are NPCs. Only the original human beings who answered the call will ascend. Shannon said humankind, a kind of human. Shannon said human being or being human. Timmy said she needs zinc. Shannon said she's got makeup. She usually looks riffed than that. Alex said, yeah, plenty of zombies walking around. It's exhausting waiting for people to wake up, but guess it's designed. Oh, God love you.
Deb Richardson tipped $6.58. Condolence to Alex for the loss of her Yoda. Condolence to Hev for the loss of chicken number 2.
Oh, Alex, did you lose your kitty cat? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, mate. Oh, God love you. I don't even know what to say. My condolences. They're like kids to us. Oh, mate. Thanks for letting me know, Deb. Alex said, yeah, I did think it might have been the light. I quite like Roseanne. She says it as it is, although I remember saying when she was a little girl she made a deal with the devil to be famous. Yep. Alex said she hopefully realised the devil will never win and only pulls souls down with him. Yeah, exactly. Zal said, watch the show, folks. Panic not. Exactly. Deb said, hello, our doctor in the house, Timmy. Shannon said, Epstein is Pinocchio, as Ghislaine is Geppetto. They're interesting. Yeah, Rusty Shackelford. Shannon? I don't know if he's... Because someone else was using his name on YouTube to get, like, people to sub. But if you look for the Rusty Shackelford Epstein Island video, and Yeah, you might come across it. Okay. Alex said, boo, hiss, covering it up like everything else. Shannon said, we're all just watching a show. People can't be told, they must be shown. Exactly. I can't say it enough. That you're watching a movie, people can't be told, they have to be shown. Because, I mean, since 2008 I was telling people. And they didn't believe me. They just looked at me like I was a nut job. So fair enough. No worries. Fine. And so that, you know, I know because like, oh, God love you.
Timar28G tipped $200. Happy birthday. 311 Australian dollars and 5 cents LOL. If Trump was on the Epstein files, Biden team would have exposed it long before when they were in power.
Exactly. Thank you, Timmy. You legend. God love you. Seriously? Wow. I don't want the tears to overspill, right? Okay? Because my makeup's not waterproof. So I'm going to have big black running bits down. But thank you so much, Timmy. I really appreciate that. God love you. Yeah, if Trump was on the Epstein files, we would have known about it. Because they would have thrown him under the bus, like they did with Diddy. Oh, God love you. Okay. Pull yourself together, Hev. Right, come on. Zal said Biggie Shackleton. Alex said, I read that one. Shannon said Epstein, CIA asset. Yeah, CIA, Mossad. Yeah, he was an asset to a few countries, I believe. Deb said, my dad was so cool he would put the towel in the dryer to warm them up for us. Yeah. Yeah, my mum used to hang things in front of the heater because we never had a dryer growing up, so... Alex said maybe the government should mind their own business and make the billionaires stop flying in private jets and all other hypocritical things they do before telling us what to do all the time. Alex said, sick and tired of it. You're sick and tired of it, you are. Don't worry, Alex, so am I. Deb said, I hope you're doing well, Alex. Deb said, spoilt was me. Dealey, how you going? Zal said, this is only temporal. People will not be allowed to go back to sleep before the shift. There will be no golden age under this system of control. Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't see how you can go back to sleep once you're awake. It is nearly impossible. It'd have to be impossible because I could not see myself. You can't. That would really, you'd like have to dig your head in the sand really hard. I don't know. I don't think you can go back to sleep once you've woken up. Out to lunch said the National Debt Clock has a hidden post about revolutionary golden age. There you go. Deb said Wild Joe on the beach. Out to lunch said new money. Zal said Bondi is corrupted. Yeah, I know. I know she used to work for Pfizer as a lawyer thing. Shannon said, I see Canada got scanned, purchased 2 EV ferries but didn't buy any charges. Wow. That's foresight now, isn't it? Great foresight. Deb said Obama told us. Double Agent said that bill shows how much trouble our country's in. Some okay stuff, but a bunch of Republican pork instead of Democrat pork. Yeah, there's always going to be, things that people don't like in there. But just wait and hang in there and see, because I think it's going to undo a lot of their stuff. Shannon said Obama in PJs with a mic and an earpiece. Yep. If you can hear something going on, my stomach's growling because I'm hungry. Alex said, I've been better. Yoda passed away on Wednesday night. There have been many tears this week. Sorry. But I'm trying to stay positive. He's my little brave boy and fought till the end. God love you, Alex, and God love little Yoda. It's with God now. Deb said, so Biden was kept on holiday while Obama ran the country. Just like my chicken. It's with God now. I prayed again for it before I had to do that. This time the body moved, actually, afterwards. That was enough to freak me out. The neck was actually, because the neck was still there. Oh my God, it was horrible. The head came off again. The neck was still there, and it was like, and the legs were going, and I'm like, oh no, don't tell me I didn't do it right. I didn't want it to be in pain, but I think if it doesn't have, I don't know. How do they do that? Is it just nervous? Timmy, tell me in the comments. Is that just nerves like and stuff? Because I hope it didn't feel any pain. Yeah, so, but anyway, the animals are with God now. Yeah, my heart goes out to you, Alex. I can't even imagine. And I've been through it, but I still can't imagine, it's just... Shannon said, all the satanic elites, the trannies, they worship Baphomet. Yep, I wouldn't be surprised if all their wives were, for sure. Look at some of them. Like the Rothschilds' missuses and things like that. Shannon said, biggest is into double... What? Okay. I'm not saying that, Shannon. Lucky I read it before I said it. Someone's alarm's going off. Okay. Deb said you can't bring back all that was killed for saying that Big Mike's a tranny. Shannon said, virulent but doesn't make you sick. Alex said, where's Wally? There's plenty of them out there to find. Deb said, we're not rioting because we're not being paid to riot. Shannon said, just like in Haiti. Deb said, harvesting. Alex said, yeah, and all the children still had parents, Shannon. Yes, they did. Out to lunch, said Oprah, and the rock will come. Yeah, Deb said, Hawaii. Zal said, catch you all later, got to drive up the Blue Mountains this morning. How you going, Zal? I'll wave to you on the way past. Deb said, Oprah bought land in Hawaii. Yeah, take care, Zal. Zal said, the Keating family were right in it with the Clintons. Yes, they were. And Epstein. Keating's daughter was caught coming out of Epstein's mansion. Keating was one of our prime ministers. Zal said, love to all. Alex said, yes, loads of land, and Zuckerberg bought land there too, I think, Deb. Yeah, safe travels, Zal. Shannon said, that shit comes out of Chelsea's mouth. If you got... Okay, I'm not going to say that, Shannon. Some very questionable comments from Shannon there. Okay. Deb said, yeah, not just Oprah. Shannon said, visiting Hev, eh? Shannon said, in Zorro Ranch. Oh, you're talking to Zal there, visiting me. No, he's driving through. I'll wave on the way past. I'm not near the highway, by the way, anyway. Yeah, Shannon, Zorro Ranch. Alex said, Catherine Fitz was one of the first people spreading info during COVID. Deb said, on his plane. Alex said, I was trying to explain who Epstein was to my mum earlier. Oh, that was a big grumble of my stomach. You were trying to explain who Epstein was to your mum earlier. She knows his name but didn't know much else about him and how he got rich. I heard he was a college dropout. Mm-hmm. Wasn't he given an honorary degree like Gates, Bill Gates? Rod, how you going? Good to see ya. Alex said, please can send that newspaper clip link about Epstein, or I can maybe find it on your Twitter. Okay, hang on. I will put that. Where is it? I just got to find it, and then I can put it in the comments. I think it's that one. Copy link. Post it in comments. There we go. Shannon said Ghislaine's dad gave Epstein his job, yes. Robert Maxwell, yes. Alex said, I can see what you have hearted, only what you have replied to or retweeted, Hev. Oh, okay. Okay, yep. So I've got to repost all them for anyone to see them then. Okay, Dealey said, Rod, yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you too. Deb said, I saw a post. The storm is here from Trump. Alex said, was that Robert Maxwell? Didn't he supposedly fall off a boat and was never found? Yeah. Out to lunch said, new TikTok challenge. Write your name without lifting your writing implement. You mean cursive? Rod said, tender lurk in the background. God love you. Alex said, Albo looks like the mole from The Wind and the Willows. Shannon said, Bridget, yeah, punched Macron, or sort of slapped him upside the head on a jet to Vietnam or on camera, yep. Deb said, bloody arrogant. Deb said he doesn't like to be challenged. Shannon said, Albo, drunken word salad. Yeah, he's got nothing to say. He's just brainless. Rod said, miss my friend Kai, haven't talked in a bit. Oh, I hope Kai's doing all right. Deb said, just a puppet. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Shannon said, wrong floor. Tim S. said, methylene blue would absolutely help with human cardiac disease, Alzheimer's. Yep, I agree. Deb said, I watched a lot of drone footage of Epstein Island and Epstein was sitting in a golf cart. Yes, that was a later one than this one that we just saw. So that was after. Yeah, Deb said, thank you, Timmy. Alex said, I missed saying hey earlier. Oh, my stomach's growling like you wouldn't believe. You can probably hear it. Deb said, our doctor in the house, Timmy. Alex said, probably why it's not really advertised if it actually helps people, Timmy. Yeah, nothing is that actually helps anyone. Timmy said, hey, Dealey, Shannon, Deb, Alex, Hev's got her full complement of trouble watching today. What is that? Deb said, yes, they have been on a mission to hide all helpful. Yeah, exactly. All the helpful stuff, they hide it. Shannon said, as I said before, wrong floor. Alex said, they can't possibly lose all those customer patients making them trillions, eh? Deb said, your face does change when you die. Very convenient. Sometimes we're worth more dead than alive. Alex said that's why they don't like doctors like our dear Timmy, because he actually heals people. Deb said, I'm hungry. What are you cooking, Shannon? Yeah, I'm hungry too. Someone cook me something to eat. Timmy said, lol, Deb, yeah, the face does change, but the nose tends to remain the same. Same shape at least. Double agent said, I'm the only double agent around here. Deb said, if you knows, you know. Yeah, it's all for entertainment purposes only. Shannon said, Dershowitz got a massage on the Lady Express, but he still left his clothes on. He had the warmest ankles on the plane. Well, even he wants it released, so that, I don't know. It needs to be released. Timmy said, Alex, our bodies are intelligent, self-regulating and self-healing. I simply help folks resume that process. Their bodies do all the healing. Out to lunch said, DOJ just worried about who will be 86th first, I figured. Yep, careful who you follow. Who is that said that? Shannon said, careful who you follow. Susan, how you going? Epstein's head was too big for the body lying on the gurney. I said that right away. But then you didn't get to see that picture anymore online. Deb said, catalyst you are, Timmy. Timmy said, rolled on the floor, laughing my ass off, the warmest ankles on the planet. Alex said, quite right. If people were taught that they could heal themselves, the world would be a much healthier place. Yep. Out to lunch said, make sure you can trust the person you're working with on tall buildings. Yeah, that's good advice, really. Alex said, I'm so sorry to hear that, Hev. Oh, same to you, Alex, honestly. Out to lunch said, call the chicken a parrot and claim it's your service animal. Deb said, sorry to hear about your chicken, Hev. Yeah, well, you know, what can you do, really? You've got to, When you're faced with a dying animal and you don't want to see it in pain anymore, you got to do something. And it wasn't moving. It wasn't moving at all. Just, it was opening its eyes, but that was about it. Alex said, yes, lol, I can't stand heights. Shannon said, chicken identifies as a dog. Mink, that real soft material. Richard Branson, that's it. Who owns Virgin Island? Alex said, I remember seeing a drone picture after Epstein supposedly died that showed a grey-haired man that looked like him still on the island. I remember that too. Alex said, yes, Branson is a complete pervert. There's a video of him being creepy on a talk show with Salma Hayek, I think, Shannon. Yeah, Virgin Blue Airline. Hang on a sec, guys. I'm going to cough again. Okay. Deb said, yes, fur babies are so loved so much. Alex said, thank you, Deb. And Hev, I'll start crying again if I think about it too much. They're truly our babies. Yeah, they are. I get you. Deb said, yes, Virgin Lolita, not suspicious. Yeah. Alex said, awesome, Timmy, wow. Alex said, you're going to make Hev cry too. Deb said, God bless you, Timmy. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much, but I do. Shannon said, Rusty Shackelford is Dale Gribble's fake name in the animated TV series King of the Hill by Mike Judge. There you go. Deb said, well done, Timmy, making Hev birthday extra special. Yes. Yeah, I had a pretty tame birthday this year, but, I think as you get older, it kind of happens, Alex said, I used to watch King of the Hill about 20 years ago, Shannon, propane. Deb said, who would want to stay in evil? Shannon said, propane and propane accessories. I tell you what. Alex said, yeah, definitely can't go back to sleep once you're awake. It's just hard trying not to be black-pilled and to try and stay positive in this mad world. That's the biggest challenge you have. Yep. Be red-pilled but not black, like to the point where, like, there's no hope. Deb said, so Biden on holiday was a distraction? But, I mean, like, everyone's, you can feel whatever way you want to. I'm not telling people how to feel either. But I'm just saying be careful. Don't go to the black pill. Deb said, so Biden on holiday was, oh, God, love you.
Timar28G tipped $10. Did both chickens have the same illness? What were their symptoms? Do you think they had egg binding? Or fowl cholera? It spreads via contaminated water, rodents, or wild bird feces.
If anything, it was the wild birds that were getting into their cage. To be honest. That's what I think it was. And they've spread a disease to my chickens. Not only that, not just the wild birds were going into their cage, but also the possums were in there as well. And they just stopped eating. I don't believe they were egg-bound, that this was more than that. It's called something. What's it called? Oh, my phone's about to go flat and I don't have the other one on me. Chicken diseases. Yeah, then they start hiding from all the other chickens because they get picked on, and then they start to not be able to move or walk. Oh, this is just YouTube. Marek's disease? I don't know, but that's what I was thinking it might be. Marek's disease. Because the symptoms sounded like what my chickens were going through, which means it could go through the whole flock. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to buy any more chickens until I see what happens with these ones. So, yeah. And plus the wild birds going into their cage is contaminating their water because those birds poop in the cage. And probably stand on the edge of their water and poop, So I'd say that'd probably be part of it, definitely. Yeah, prayers for Alex, definitely. Thank you again, Timmy. You're a legend. Shannon said, running around like a headless chook isn't just a saying. Yeah, it wasn't actually running around, but it was just like, you know, like the nerves were going. Timmy said, if the head is gone, there's no pain, just nerves, thank God. Alex said he was in my arms when it happened, and yes, now in God's loving arms, playing with all the other passed away fur babies. Yes. Deb said, I didn't want to say that, Shannon. Shannon said they kept a headless chook alive for 3 weeks. Oh, no. I think that's just cruel. Alex said, thank you, Hev. I can show my mum and dad. Shannon said, where's Muskie? I don't know. Hope she's all right. Alex said, got it and we'll save it. Deb said, puppet. Alex said she could be busy sorting her animals. Yeah, we love menacing muskrat. Where was I up to? Deb said, yes, we love our muskrat. Deb said, my nickname is Double Trouble. Out to lunch, said pears and cottage cheese and a sandwich. Oh, yum. Shannon said, got to take the boy to a birthday party soon. Yeah, I'll be wrapping it up shortly. Deb said, when I give a massage, it helps a person's body to heal itself, so we're both catalysts. Alex said, take care, God bless, see you soon. Shannon, happy birthday to your son's friend. Everyone's saying, see ya, Shannon. Shannon said, soon means like in an hour or so. Oh, there you go. Shannon said, okay, I'm not going to read that one. Deb said, how many chickens are left? Have 4. Deb said, could Hev get sick from the chicken? Deb said, oh, no, we can't call Hev. No, you can't call me because my phone's not in the same room. Alex said, no, I think I've been on the cusp of being black-pilled, but I'll always try and pull myself back and see the hope and everything. Or else, what's the point? Exactly. It can be horrible sometimes, yeah. Definitely. You've got, like, that's where you've got to be real careful. But people will anyway. They're going to go to the black pill and, you know, I don't know if they can come back. Shannon said, bird flu is real. Just me. How you going? Hi, Hev, just stopping by to say hi and wish you good health. Thank you, just me. God love you. Dealey said, Shannon, I was thinking the same thing. Bird flu is real. Just me said, I'll have to go make dinner. I'll be listening. Alex said, I meant, no, you're right. It's not good to be black-pilled. Yeah, I know. That's what you meant, yeah. But I'm like just thinking of other people and, you know, if you go black pill, can you come back? I don't know. I hope so. Because there's a lot of people getting black pilled right now.
Timar28G tipped $5. Mercs this viral tumor, herpes family, no cure, unvaccinated flocks. Hits around 6 to 30 weeks but can flare later in carriers, causing depression, weight loss, paralysis, anemia.
And quick death. It spreads via dander, so it can now a couple though, not all though. Okay. Well, hopefully the rest will be okay. And if they continue to be okay, they look very healthy, the rest of them. So if they continue to be okay, then, you know, it's all good. Yeah. So thank you, Timmy. God love you, legend. Yes, that's what I think it was, to be honest. Alex said I couldn't fit it all in. Deb said they're culling chicken. That's why the egg shortage. Alex said, my Hev family have definitely helped me through some of the really hard times. I love you all so much. God love you. Shannon said, so many wasted letters. I'm not reading that one. Yeah, I can't, Shannon. On the plus side, no fingerprints. I don't know what you're talking about. Deb said, thank you, Timmy. So, Timmy, I'm going to message you shortly, wanting to know if you can come on tomorrow with me. Look out for me tomorrow just in case, because it'll depend on whether Timmy can join us or not. And we can go to Rumble and do a live over there as well after normal news on here. So, okay, excellent, guys. Thank you. And I will go and contact Timmy. Yeah, I use diatomaceous earth. I do. I use diatomaceous earth all the time on their, like where they dirt bathe, you know, where they scratch around and have a dirt bath, and all over their pen. And I even bought the mite stuff, and because at one point they had the mites, which were bad this year apparently. So I have that stuff as well, which has diatomaceous earth and something else in it, I think. So yeah, I've done what I can. The only other thing is buying chicken vitamins. Now, look, my vitamins cost enough as it is. Do I have to buy chicken ones as well? I don't know. I've been putting like a cap full of the apple cider vinegar in their water, not all the time, but sometimes. And I've been trying to naturally give them, you know, good stuff to help them. But yeah, I'll have to just see how we go. And it's a learning curve anyway for me, a big learning curve in owning animals and farm animals type animals, you know. So yeah, we'll just have to see how we go with the remaining 4 now. Deb said, I bet it's rude, Hev. Shannon said, fingerprints worn off drum, typing unread letters. Huh? Out to lunch said, okay. Yeah, we're very blessed having Timmy. Okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and hopefully talk to you soon from cold Blue Mountains, Australia. Bye, guys.